me know in the chat where you guys are, where you're joining us from too. Oh, 111. Jamie's ready to go. Good. This girl's fired up. We have a lot of fun together, and Jamie and my energy, I've found, just like hypes each other up. So hopefully by the end of this call, you guys are all going to be hyped. And if you're in Eastern Standard Time like me, it might be a later night for you, just because I don't know. I love this stuff. So Jamie, if I can pass it back to you and you can give some tips on warming up your Facebook page or social media. You have some thoughts on that?
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing I would recommend you guys doing is we're going to take a couple of minutes. This is my favorite activity. And the reason why this is my favorite activity, it's my favorite ongoing activity. I love to hide Prove It people. I know it sounds awful. I know it's like, oh, but I love to see what my friends post. That's great. That can be a scheduled time of your day to go check out what other people are posting and what they're doing. But as far as running a business, I will be your friend and then I will go unfollow you. That doesn't mean we're not friends anymore. I just don't see your stuff and then you don't see mine. And guess what that does for us? It allows us to see other people's stuff, which is amazing. This is the easiest way for me. Every day when I'm scrolling, for the few seconds that I'm scrolling, if I see people who are Prove It, I literally am just like unfollow, unfollow, unfollow. So let's take 90 seconds right now to just go into our Facebooks right now and see who pops up first. If it's a Prove It person, drop a P in the chat and then go ahead and unfollow that person. And let's just take the next 90 seconds and just kind of do an unfollowing spree. It's all with love and good energy in our heart. There's no negative emotions attached to it. It's just treating Facebook like a business. So yes, it's on your Facebook wall. When you see people's posts, go ahead and you hit unfollow. The best way to do that is you'll see on their post, there's 3 little dots on the top right-hand corner of their post. You're going to click on that, and there's a bunch of options. There's snooze, and there's hide. So the difference is snooze for 30 days is they go away for 30 days, and then guess what? They come back. So unfollowing altogether, you guys can use your discretion on what you want to do. If you want to try this out for a little bit, go ahead and snooze them. But if you're like, okay, I'm here for this, I'm ready to unfollow everybody on my page, seems like a prover, go ahead and hit the unfollow. So 90 seconds, 3 little dots, top right-hand corner, click unfollow. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
I think I started my timer a little early, but it just went off. But I don't know about you guys, but I just unfollowed like 10 people. I realized I have a lot of provers in my feed. Jamie, don't take it personally, but I'm about to unfollow you. But I promise I'll still come look at your page.
Hey, that's okay. Please do unfollow me.
Good.
I love that.
Unfollow me too.
So guys, how many unfollows did you get done in 90 seconds? And did you have an awareness like, oh my gosh, these are all Prove It people on my posts? Like, no wonder sometimes I post things and like nobody responds. Why is that? Nobody's really seeing, maybe nobody's seeing what you're posting. So now hopefully that will help. So I want to add that into one other thing. That's awesome. Karen said, OMG 11. I love it. So I wanted to share a post with you guys today that we saw from someone on our teams. Her name's Ashley Riddle. I'm sure some of you are familiar with her, but she had a great post today that I thought would be really great to have people interested, especially coming into the new year. And, everybody just ate probably way too many Christmas cookies. I'm also guilty of that. But she had a post that I'm actually typing it out in the chat now, but it says, if you had the opportunity to win $10,000, $5,000, or $2,000 just for getting healthy, would you want the details? And I was like, wow, what a great post that is, because you've got 3 different dollar amounts. People are probably like, well, of course I want the 10K. And it really just creates and opens up space for a conversation. So I'm going to finish typing it in the chat, and I'm going to encourage you guys to make this a post. Again, if you're Eastern Standard Time, this might be better to save for tomorrow morning, just because, people laying in bed right now getting ready for work tomorrow, might cry at the sight of like $10,000, $2,000, $5,000. You never know. You might be able to hit more people tomorrow. So you guys can use that to your discretion. So I'm going to paste that in the chat, but basically anything that you guys can post on your wall. Thank you, Jenna. You're the best. You guys can go ahead and post that. And she made it fun too. Like, it's not just a text chat. I don't know if you guys can see that. But she used one of those fun little backgrounds on there that you guys can absolutely use. So I thought that would be really interesting to go ahead and post. So yeah, definitely makes those pop. So let's do like 45 seconds. If you guys want to copy that from Jenna and you want to change the wording, make it your own. If like getting healthy doesn't fit for you, I was going to write making healthier decisions or tracking a journey, anything that sounds more natural like yourself. Go ahead and make that a fun little post on your wall, and we'll come back in 45 seconds for our next thing. All right. There's the timer. Hopefully everybody's awake now. So if you were able to drop that on your wall, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. And of course, we know that posting and praying doesn't necessarily, create this huge title surge sometimes if we're not looking for that. So there's a really great reach out that goes with that. Also, Ashley Riddles, I cannot take credit for this. So Jenna, if you're able to type this, that would be the best. So she obviously used these for people whose birthday it was or belated. And she said, hey girl, first of all, happy birthday. If hey girl is not your thing, use their name, use whatever sounds natural to you. First of all, happy birthday. I hope this is your best year ever. By the way, I'm reaching out to friends to see if you have health goals you're working toward in 2022. I'm starting a new January challenge and accountability group, and I'd love for you to join us. We have some crazy cash on the table, 10K, 5K, and 2K. Would you like the details? If that was too fast, I can repeat it. Sorry. I'm actually just gonna copy this into the chat right from here. So that's something that you guys, let's take 5 minutes. Let me get that in the chat, and then let's take the next 5 minutes of actually like reaching out to people who come to mind about Core 4, who come to mind about doing an accountability challenge with you, going into your back office and looking at your 30 newest customers, 30-day newest customers, and seeing who you could have a conversation with regarding this to invite them to do the challenge with you. So I'm just gonna mute very quickly. Type this bad boy in the chat. All right, so that is in the chat. If you guys want to go ahead and copy that, and then you can go ahead and head to your back office, head into your phone. You guys can literally just go into your contacts. If it's not somebody's birthday, take that line right out of there. You don't want to wish somebody a happy birthday if it's not their birthday, or maybe that's a good conversation starter. I don't know. So go ahead, let's take 5 minutes and either create a list of people who come to mind for Core 4. I know we did this a couple weeks ago on Action Hour. If you guys were on that and still have your lists, go ahead and get those out, and then we can use that text over there to reach out to them and use the money factor into this. So let's take 5 minutes, send out some reach outs regarding this, and then we will loop back and send it over to Jenna. All right, we've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
All right, you guys, if you're still sending out messages, go ahead and do that for another second. I want to share something with you that I posted this week. I want to talk about sharing our stories, especially right now, because we're in that weird time between Christmas and New Year's where people are off of work, maybe home with their kids, maybe paying a little more attention on Facebook and starting to think about their goals for next year. So I made a post this week, inspired by Jody. If you guys know Jody, I work really closely with her, and she and I were working on our stories this week and just realizing how powerful it is when someone can see themselves in your story. So put a 1 in the chat. Or like the last time that you shared, not just your transformation story, like physical transformation, but even your business story, like put a 1 in the chat if you've shared your story within the last week on social media. Because most of it I hadn't, I can tell you that much. I make posts, I make things about like how excited I am about ketones, but walking through my story like before and after, or sharing it in a new way, right? If you've been around for a while, I've been in Prove It for almost 4 years now. So finding new ways to tell my story that captures attention, so it's not the same story that people hear all the time. That's what I challenged myself to do this week. So I made a post this week, y'all, and it has 120 likes on it, and I don't even know how many comments right now. And so part of what I did with the activity we just did, and I'm gonna post the script that I just used. I took Ashley's and I tweaked it a little bit to respond to people posting on my story. So first, we're going to work on crafting your story. You may not want to post it tonight, especially if you just did the other post that we did. But I want to give some time to think through like creating a new transformation photo and thinking through what your story could be that maybe you post tomorrow morning. And then give you a tool to follow up with people who are liking and commenting on your post. So for me, first, before I lose it, I'm going to put this script in the chat. This is something I do when people, where'd it go? Hold on. When I make a post that does really well, I always thank people. I always start with thanking them for their support. So this is what, during that time we just had, I took that message that Ashley used and I switched it. Instead of happy birthday, it was, hey, thanks for supporting me. It's always really vulnerable to put myself out there. Leaving a comment or liking my photo, it means a lot. Then I did the invite to what I'm doing, and then I give them an out at the end. I didn't put that part on there, but I always put like, no biggie if you're not interested right now. I just want to invite as many friends as possible to do this with me. That's how I talk. So that's the script that I use. So if you recently had a post that did really well, feel free to take that and craft it to do, if you recently did a story. I saw Sarah Ramos who said that you did your story recently. And you may have something you already used, but that's just what I did tonight. So sharing your story, for those of you, do you guys all know, put a 1 in the chat, or 2, let's use a different number. Put a 2 in the chat if you want a like really simple outline for how to share your Prove It story. I think a lot of you have been here for a while, but some of you are still new. Jamie wants it. Awesome. Love you, Jamie. Two. Okay, perfect. So there's a really simple model that we use. It's the easiest way to craft your story. There's 3 lines I'm going to give you. Before Prove It, I, since Prove It, or you don't even have to use Prove It, before drinking ketones, before finding my magic mom fuel, before finding these little packets of white powder, whatever you want to call it, however you call it on social media to create curiosity. Before this stuff, I felt like X, Y, and Z, right? Fill in the blank. Before drinking ketones, since drinking ketones, tell them what's changed. Even if it's like day 2 and you're like, since drinking ketones, my floorboards are clean for the first time in 6 months. Like my windows are clean. Your story doesn't have to be, I lost 50 pounds. It can be, I feel better. I got off the couch. I took my kid to the park for the first time in 3 years. Like whatever it is that shifted in you, like be authentic. Don't lie. Don't like wait to share a story till you think it's good enough. Like, believe me, there is somebody out there who needs whatever you've experienced so far. So think about that right now. What are like a couple things that you've experienced since drinking ketones? And then the 3rd line is, what I'm the most excited about is X, Y, and Z. like whatever it is, whatever you're excited. I'm excited to see where this magic mom fuel is going to take me in 3 more months. Like after 3 days of this, I can't imagine who I'll be in 3 months. After 3 years of this, I can't imagine where I'll be 3 years from now. You know, for me, the story I did the other day, I posted a very vulnerable shot of my postpartum body. I'll show you guys here if you can see. So transformation photos are eye-catching, right? That was me before. This is me now. There's about a 5-year period difference in between there. So my story, I used the outline. I didn't use those exact lines in my story, but I told the story that way, right? 5 years ago, I was a new mom. I was tired. I was uncomfortable in my own skin. I was in thrift store shorts and a hand-me-down nursing bra. I know it's gross. Okay, don't judge me. That's where I was at, super broke. I was happy and in love with my daughter, but everything else felt out of my control, especially my body. But that was something I could change. That was something I could take back. That was something I could own. And so I did. I changed. I found the tools to help. I found a community to support me. I found myself. The mom on the right still has no makeup on and her hair isn't done, but she's confident, she's strong, she's energized, she's ready to embrace the day. She's loving her brand new Lululemon outfit, and she's excited for all that's to come. Which mom do you identify the most with? Are you ready to do something about it? Own your own body and pursue a better you in 22. No matter where you're starting or how long you've been there, there's better ahead for you if you want it. Like that's how I shared my story. So it's still the same outline. I described who I was before, I described who I am now, and I invited them to participate in something in the future, right? So it's a really simple outline, and you can get creative with it. Like for me, it was the mom then versus the mom now. It could be the house then versus the house now. You know, if you want to share your business story, it could be the car then versus the car now, right? Like some people have very powerful business stories. Some people have very, like my sister, I can tell you every time she drinks ketones, because she'll text me, hey, I'm ripping up the carpet in my house. Like, hey, I'm painting the walls. Hey, you know, so her story is so simple every time. Before I had this drink today, I couldn't get off the couch. Now I'm like remodeling my bathroom. Like, you know, I better keep drinking this stuff so my projects get finished. Like there's so many ways to share your story that attracts people. And when they hear themselves in your story, they're more likely to like or comment. And when they like or comment, then there's an opportunity for you to start the conversation with a simple thank you. Hey, thanks for your support. It means a lot to me that to know you're watching my journey and you're part of it with me. Do you have any goals yourself? Do you want to be a part of what I'm doing next? You know, so I guess I'm talking a little bit, but let's take, you know, a couple minutes and just jot down like the first things that come to mind when you hear those 3 lines, jot them down. And when you're done, put a 3 in the chat that you've answered all 3 things, like before, since drinking them, this is what I'm excited about. Let's just take 2 minutes, think about it. Think about if you have transformation photos, can be physical, they can be photos of your house, they can be photos of a sink full of dishes. And then when your dishes are all done, after you drink your ketones, like, dude, before drinking my ketones today, I couldn't even think about touching these dishes. Now, like, my whole kitchen's clean, you know, like so simple day-to-day things. People will be like, oh man, my sink's still full of dishes. Maybe I do need that stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be this huge thing. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute and let you guys think. I've thrown a few things out there. We'll give it just 2 minutes to think about, jot down some notes, and then tomorrow morning you can make your post. And then follow up with people from there. I'm setting a timer. I don't know if you set one, Jamie, but I can set one. All right. And if you already shared your story, that's the beauty of it, is there's always a new story to share. So I just did that one, but like I just gave myself a great idea with the kitchen sink and dishes or whatever. So I'm gonna jot down some ideas for myself of different variations of the story that I can share and sprinkle them in. I just thought of a fun one for right now is all my Christmas decorations are still up. So you could do a before drinking my ketones today, I had no motivation to take my decorations down, or put the tubs away that I had. And then end with a question of like, when do you take like an engagement question, when do you take your Christmas decorations down? Right after Christmas, at the end of January, like how in June, like how long do they stay up in your house? 'Cause mine have been up a long time in the past. So did I give you guys some ideas? Your engagement is looking for snow pants currently. Ooh, that's nice. I can make that in Florida. I just found a snow place called Snowcat Ridge that has igloos, and I can go in there and build a snowman with my kid. So excited. I can't wait to go. But that means I need to get a snow pants in Florida. So that's a good idea. Who has snow pants in Florida? Let me know. Yeah, I'm super excited. You can go sledding and build snowmen and do all the things there. And then come back to 80-degree weather. So Jamie, that is the storytelling. If you guys did that help with creating some new ideas for stories you can share throughout the week and how to invite people and follow up with that? See, I already got a response back. Someone wants to start their new health journey in February. Are you guys getting responses from your reach outs yet? That's fine.
I think my people are sleeping. I'm going to have to go door to door and just start waking people up.
I know. Well, that's the problem with 9:15 Eastern Standard Time action hours is a lot of my community is also asleep, but
for sure.
Some of them are night owls.
So I love it. You gave me a great idea. I'm in the middle of my new Instagram post. I found an old picture of me with my daughter and then one that we took this Christmas. And man, we're both miserable and she's cute with her big old cheeks, but mama's not. So it's going to be a good post there.
That's an awesome post.
Thank you for that, Jenna. So now we're going to transition to the last piece of the call. And we're going to use our beloved Rhino Run trackers. So if you guys have yours handy, go ahead and pull those out. If you don't have them handy or don't know what they are, you can find this on Better Starts Here and print this template out. There's a training on this, I believe, on that page as well. Basically, it's the good old pen and paper. Who do you talk to? Who gets the campfire video? Who gets a trial, etc. And it's a great way to, when you sit down in the morning, go like, oh my gosh, like who do I need to follow up with? You already wrote it all down. So it's really easy and a great way to track your progress for the month. So we have a guest call tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern. I believe that's correct. That we want to load up this call. It's the last call of 2021. And that's really a way that we can go into inviting people. So what you want to do is any single person that you have on your Rhino Run tracker who only has a check for the first box, like they got the campfire video or maybe not even that far, it's a great time to reach out individually to each person on here. And even the people who have already purchased, hey, I'm so excited you got your 5-day sample. We're having an amazing guest call. I'd love for you to come on and hear other people's stories and testimonies about this amazing product and community and what it's done for them. And let's see how many people we can get onto this call. So I'd really recommend getting your Rhino Run tracker. If you're like me and you keep them from several months before, you can even go to the months before, and let's reach out to these people individually and invite them to tomorrow's call. So I will go ahead and mute and type a couple of things in the chat as to what you can say. Hey, I'd love for you to be a fly on the wall and join me tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern. You can even keep the time a secret and say like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? People maybe will like that. Maybe we'll be like, why is this woman asking? But it's going to start the conversation. And that's really exciting too. Your Rhino Run's just a great tracker to reignite conversations with people that you've already talked to, and maybe the conversation fizzled out and maybe you didn't get to the next step of a trial and you're not sure how to naturally get back in there without feeling cringy. This is a great way to do it, inviting them to the call. So while you guys find your Rhino Run trackers, I'm going to start putting some things in the chat that we can use, and we'll spend the next 5 minutes reaching out to invite to the call. All right. Hopefully you guys were able to get a chance to reach out to some people on your Rhino run. Linda had a question in the chat about, is there a good video on Core 4 to send out as a follow-up to our post about the challenge? Not sure if there is a video, but Linda, I can shoot you the replay from Nick's call last week, and hopefully that will give a little bit more information. Jenna, do you know if there's a video for a follow-up?
I don't think there's a good video. There are the flyers on that Core 4 website. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but you can download the flyer that gives them like the step-by-step on how to participate. Yeah, Tracy, you're holding that up. That's awesome. I see. Awesome. I see you. So that's a great like next step for people who are like, hey, yeah, I'm interested. And then also obviously connecting them with whoever you're working closest with, your champs, and just saying, hey, so-and-so is interested in the Core 4 challenge. Can you help me get them started? You know, that's always a good step if you don't know where to go next. That's what I would do. I'm gonna load up everybody. Tracy, you have a question? I saw your hand raised. What's up?
Can I just share something?
Sure. Yeah.
So I did, right before I hopped in, I was doing a live on my TikTok, telling everybody about this and my Facebook group. And I've got like 5 people already interested. So.
Oh, that's huge. That's
I
awesome.
wanted to share.
Woohoo! That is so good.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Going live is amazing. It definitely attracts a lot of attention, gives you an opportunity to engage with people right there. And is a huge step out of some people's comfort zones, you know. So out of your, I was like, I feel like that was a big step for you. So I'm super proud of you, Tracy. Everybody give Tracy a hand for doing it, going live and getting interest. And just shows like step up, step out. That's amazing. And then Sarah Ramos, I think I saw you said that the Pulse Pro has stories for Core 4, and there's a short video on Prove It TV on Core 4. So thanks, Sarah. So there are some resources there too if you guys have the Pulse Pro app. I don't know if you know how to take the stories off of there, but if you don't, ask somebody on your team who does, and they can walk you through how to do it step by step, and then share those in your stories for attraction. And then you can use Prove It's video, obviously, as a resource. So any other like thoughts or celebrations, or, you know, just was this helpful? Do you guys like doing, I like working together. This is way better for me than doing this on my own. So yeah, awesome. Cool. Well, anything else, Jamie? Any closing thoughts?
I think we are good. Excited to smash these next 3 days and the end of the year.
Yay. Let's have like a dance party out of here or something, right?
We should. I mean, I am always down for a dance party. I think we know that. I love it.
Oh.
I love
Alexa, play Andy Grammer from Apple Music. There we go. You guys like some
Andy Grammer from Apple Music.
Oh, she's
soulful.
It is soulful.
There we go. All right. Appreciate you all. I'm plugging in my computer real quick. It's about to die. Bye, guys. Go have some fun. Turn on some music if you're still working, and we'll connect soon.
Bye.
Bye.